think, where should we go today? I think we're gonna go underwater. I think we're gonna go under the ocean. I personally really enjoy aquariums and I love fish and things like that. So I think that's where we're gonna go. If you have any suggestions for future ones, let me know where you want to go. I'm thinking maybe next time we'll go to the rainforest, but we'll see what happens. So I ask that you find a comfortable place. This can be sitting or lying down. You can choose a spot on the floor and sit cross-legged if you're able, or in a chair like I'm sitting. Anywhere that feels comfortable is totally fine. We don't necessarily have to be doing any sort of specific breathing or, that kind of stuff during this practice. So just kind of exist. Find a comfy spot to be. And we'll get started. Sometimes I find that closing my eyes can really help me imagine and feel grounded in the spot that I'm trying to go to. So we're gonna start out at the ocean, and it's important to note that during this entire meditation you are safe. And if you find that these don't resonate with you, that's okay. You can choose a different meditation, or you can give it a try. But with this meditation, you are safe. And for the purposes of this meditation, you don't need to worry about how long your scuba diving gear will work for, because you are magical and you can breathe underwater. You can breathe underwater and you can see underwater, so just get yourself ready however you want to. If you want to put on some, what do they call them? Fins? Flippers? No. What are the things that you put on your feet that help you dive and propel through water? I literally can't think of what they are right now. That's okay. If you want to put those on, if you want to put on a swimsuit, or maybe you have some clothing that you like to wear, just put those on and stand at the edge of the beach. And we'll walk out. Feel the sand beneath your feet. We'll walk a ways along the beach and see the ocean waves. What do they sound like? Can you smell the salt water? What does the beach smell like? Maybe you smell sunscreen. Maybe it smells like it's about to rain. What do you smell? And when you're ready, you can keep walking along the edge of the beach, and we'll see a dock jutting out into the ocean. And you can feel the wood under your feet now that you're walking on the dock. What does that feel like? How is that different from the sand? Is it flat? Is it cold? Is it warm? Are there grooves in the dock? Is it really smooth? And just take a second to feel that under your feet as you walk out to the edge. And when you get to the edge of the water, I want you to feel what the weather is like. Take a look around. Do you feel rain? Do you feel the sun? What do you feel? Do you feel wind? And then take a look out over the horizon. Is there anything on the horizon line? Maybe there's an island with some trees. Maybe you see a dolphin playing in the distance. Maybe it's just waves. Maybe a sunset. What do you see? And I want you to think about, what do you hear too? What do you hear at the end of this dock? Are there seagulls? Hear the waves lapping at the edge of the ocean? ready, I want you to look over the edge of the dock and see what is below you. What do the waves look like? Hopefully, the ocean is very welcoming. If you want, you can reach out and stick a finger in the water, or hands, maybe your toes. What temperature is the water? And whenever you're ready, you can find a way to get into the water. So think about it for a second. How are you going to get into the water? Are you going to jump? Are you going to kind of ease your way in? How are you going to get in? Is there a ladder? Are you going to climb down? I want you to take a big breath and get in the water. And let it out. And now that you're under the water, you can breathe just fine. And once the water stops moving around you, I want you to take a look around. Are you floating where you are, or are you slowly sinking towards the bottom? What is your body doing in the water? What temperature is the water? Does it feel like it's really compressing you? Or does it feel kind of light and airy? Do you feel like you're floating? What does it feel like? And as you begin to notice that there's other things happening around you, I want you to take a peek at what kind of wildlife or seaweed or sand or shells, what is around you? What do you see? Is there things attached to the poles of the dock? What's down on the sand bed? Now that you've taken a good look around, we can start to swim. And you know how to swim at this point, so just go for it. Swim away from the dock and get a little bit further out towards past where the waves kind of come in, out towards the ocean. And as you get further from the dock, you start to notice that there is more and more corals and plants. And it gets denser and denser. And then you realize that there's some other things in the coral. So maybe you want to stop for a minute and see, what kind of fish are there? Are there any crustaceans? Take a look at the colors. What colors do you see? And I want you to look for something red. What do you see that's red? And now I want you to look for something orange. Do you see anything orange? And then see if you can find something yellow in the reef. And then something green. And finally, you can look up and you can see that the rest of the water, all the way down further into the ocean, is a really deep, comforting blue. And you realize that you've been staring at the seafloor for quite a while, and you haven't looked up. So I want you to turn around and look up towards the surface. What do you see on the surface? Notice the light playing, kind of makes those webbed patterns. Maybe you see the way that the waves crash and tumble and turn white. Maybe you even see something like a sea otter. What's at the surface? I want you to swim up towards the surface for a little bit. I'm not going to go all the way to the top, but just towards the surface. And when you're at a point where you can feel the waves starting to carry you back to shore, you realize that there's big sea turtles that are swimming in your area. And one is about to swim right underneath you. I want you to reach out and touch the turtle's shell. He doesn't mind. He's curious and playful, just like you are. So reach out and touch the shell of the turtle. What does it feel like? Is it hard? Is it smooth? Is it kind of slimy? And they're kind of on a mission. They're going somewhere. So we're going to follow them and see where they're going. And I want you to swim alongside the turtles, and they're moseying along, they're taking their time. You can feel the currents rush over you of the water. Maybe they're helping you propel forward. Maybe you're cruising on a current. You're just letting it carry you. And by this point, you realize that you're pretty far out into the ocean. The water has gotten really, really deep. And there's some different kinds of wildlife out here. So take a look at what kinds of wildlife you can see deeper in the ocean. Maybe you see some manta rays. Maybe you see a shark off in the distance. He's doing his own thing. If you do, it's totally okay. Whatever makes you feel comfortable and interested. What kind of creatures do you see? Do you see a jellyfish? Do you see something kind of glowing way down in the depths? And whenever you're ready, you can begin to swim back towards where you came from. And feel how that is to swim. What is that like with the muscles? What kind of kicks do you have to use? What are your arms doing? How does that swimming experience feel in your body? Does it take a lot of effort? Is it really easy? And feel the rhythm of that swimming as you head towards shore. And you can say hi if there's any other creatures. Give them a little wave that you saw on your way out. Maybe you met a very playful octopus. Whatever you saw, you continue back towards the shore. And this time, instead of swimming up towards the dock, we're going to go straight towards shore. So go past where you got in the water and take one last look. What's underneath the dock? Is there anything underneath the dock? And then take a look to your other side. What's out to your other side? The sand is getting closer and closer. Maybe you see some people swimming. Maybe you see a dog. Maybe you even see a mythical creature like a mermaid. Maybe there's no people. Maybe it's a private beach. Whatever you see, take a look at it and notice how the light reflects off of it. And when you get close enough to shore, you can turn around and sit up and feel the waves roll over your lower half as you begin to get used to the air again. How does the air feel on your skin? What does it smell like? Can you taste the salty water on your lips? And then whenever you're ready, you can get up and walk back to your home, or you can drive, or however you want to get home. And you can wiggle your fingers here, maybe your toes, whenever you're ready. If you need to stretch, you can do so. And you can open your eyes. There you go. There's your little adventure for the day. Thank you for joining me. I hope you found that relaxing. And on that note, I hope that you have a lovely rest of your evening. As always, I love you all. Have a good night. Goodbye.